Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. We are out in the garden again today and it is for the Every Bit Counts challenge. This is our little snack while we're doing our garden work. Okay, so part of this Every Bit Counts challenge is using up the resources I already have. So I just made some pineapple jelly actually, because I used the juice. I did have some fresh pineapples that I froze and I chopped up a few, blended up a few and put it in there. So it's a little bit chunky, it's not completely smooth. That's apparently how we like pineapple jelly. Not me personally, but the family. So the majority of them like it that way. So what I did with the juice, this is pineapple juice. I just froze it in these little trays that I got for this purpose, as you can see here. And I'm just transferring it into a sandwich bag, and that will go into the freezer for later use in whatever. I like to use a little bit of this in like sweet and sour stir fry. Sometimes with rice, I'll cook rice in like a little bit of pineapple juice. So yeah, did I say tomato juice earlier? If I did, no, pineapple juice. I'm going to put this in the freezer and we'll just use it out of that. So every bit counts. So as I said a number of times before, our garden's not doing that well, but it is giving us a little something something. So today I've got a cabbage, I've got some okra, I've got some more peppers. I finally dug up our volunteer garlic. It's not big, but it will do. And I picked some calendula as well. So let's get to preserving and using up a little garden harvest today of week 2 of the Every Bit Counts challenge. Okay, so for the calendula, all I'm going to do is dry it. Here's some I picked a couple of days ago, and I'm just going to dry them. And then later on in the season, I'm going to make a salve out of them. And what I do is I steep some olive oil and I make the salve out of that. So that's what I'm going to be doing with my calendula. As far as the peppers go, I'm going to be cutting them up and putting them, adding them to the gallon size Ziploc bag I have in the freezer. And hopefully I could get a couple of those, because last year we didn't have nearly enough peppers to last us through the season. We ran out very early. So I'm hoping to get enough sweet peppers in there so we can use it stir fries, in rices, and whatever, meats, whatever we decide to add peppers to. So I'm going to add these to the freezer bag, and that's the way I'm going to preserve them. Here is the garlic. I'm going to wash this up, and I'm actually going to puree it with a little bit of olive oil and do what I do called, what are they? Garlic cubes, garlic like ice pops. What you saw me do with the pineapple juice. I'm going to do the same thing with this garlic. And that's how I'm going to be preserving those to use in, again, whatever, soups, stews, rice, whatever I decide I want a little bit of garlic flavor in, I'm going to use that. Normally I would just dry it, but since it was such a small amount, and a lot of them were really small, I didn't feel like going through all that. So I'm just going to put them into what I call flavor packs. And then those couple of little okras that I got, I'm going to freeze those, and when I get enough, this is my husband's favorite. So yeah, the rest of us don't like it so much because they're kind of slimy. So when I get enough, I'll make him a dish out of that. And then for the cabbage, I have one in the fridge already. I cut that up, and I'm going to blanch this and put it in the freezer for later use in soups and rices, whatever. Actually, I might use some of this for dinner tonight. We'll see how it goes. So I'm just soaking it in some salt water just to get any bugs or anything like that out of it and clean it up before I use it. So it's another day in the garden, another harvest. I got another cabbage. Now this one's split. So do you use split cabbage or not? I do. I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to soak it in my salt water. And then I'm going to blanch it and put it in the freezer for later use. I'm not going to use this like raw. I'm going to cook this one. Anything that splits and is not really slimy or anything like that, I blanch it, put it in the freezer, and I cook it. I don't use it for coleslaw. The okra there, I'm going to add to the sandwich bag. And when it's enough, I'm going to cook that for hubby. The tomatoes, I'm going to put in the windowsill and ripen, and we're going to eat those fresh. And of course, the peppers that are there, I'm going to chop them up and add them to my gallon size freezer bag, which already has the peppers in it. And hopefully we will get enough that will last us throughout the winter season. So this morning's harvest was sad, sad, sad. There's nothing else ready other than these 2 cucumbers. And I'm glad for it because it already piping hot and the sun just came up. It is so hot outside right now, I could wilt. But these 2 cucumbers are gonna go into my brine in the fridge to add to our refrigerator pickles. So part of this Every Bit Counts challenge is using up the things that come out of your garden, the things you get from the farmer's market, the things you get from the stores that you put up and put away. Learning how to cook with them, what to do with them once you preserve them. Learn how to use them in your everyday cooking. So that's what I've got here. I've got a fried rice. This is actually tuna fried rice. The onions are from actually dehydrated from 3 years ago. That actually leaks in there. Some peppers that you see me harvesting from the last 2 weeks of the Every Bit Counts challenge. Some peas and carrots from the pantry. Some rice that I preserved in our pantry. So everything is from our pantry, including the cans of tuna fish. And I'm making tuna fried rice. Use up the things you are preserving. Learn how to use the things you're preserving and use them in your everyday cooking. So this is a very important part of the Every Bit Counts challenge, making sure I have enough water. And with this little cyber attack that was on our water systems in my state, I am making sure I have enough water on hand in case we can't drink what is coming out of the tap. Kroger's had a sale, actually now it's last week, and I picked up 10 cases of water to go into my pantry. Every bit counts. So back out in the garden, I just want to show you our sunflowers, the only ones that made it through the birds picking at the seeds. I planted the sunflowers in 3 or 4 different locations, and literally the birds packed out the seeds in 3 out of the 4 locations, and these are the only ones that made it. They are starting to show out, and I can't wait for them. So part of the Every Bit Counts challenge for me is homing and refining my skills. Now I'm making crock pot yogurt here, and I am using powdered milk because milk is very expensive, and I'm finding that the powdered milk is giving me the flexibility, let's put it that way, to do different things I wouldn't be able to do with just regular milk. Shelf-stable milk is good if I can find it, and I'm having problems finding that. So powdered milk is coming in clutch right now. So I'm using it to make different things. Today, well, for a couple of months now, I've been using it to make my crock pot yogurt. I'm thinking next I might do cheese. And I found a way to cut the time on using it for my crock pot yogurt. I'm actually warming my water a little bit warmer than I did previously. So that helps cut down time. That brings it up to the 180. Okay, so another way I shave off time off of this yogurt processing, I take it out of the crock pot base, put it on a silicone pot rest, and then I take the top off, as you saw, and I just place a clean tea towel over the top, and that helps it cool down a lot faster than the 3+ hours it says to. It's cooled down a lot faster, and I'm shaving about 2.5 to 3 hours off the total time of making yogurt. Okay, so it's been 8 hours, and I just want to show you what my crock pot yogurt looks like. Here it is, nice and thick. Even though it is quite thick, I'm still going to strain it. What I have is a bowl with a saucer on the bottom to lift it up out of the way. Just a colander, and I've draped a wet muslin cloth over it. And I'm going to just ladle it in there and strain it out. And it's going to be much more thicker. I mean, it's thick now. As you can see, it is thicker than some of the yogurts I've seen, but I like mine really thick. So we're gonna strain it out and leave this overnight. I'm just finishing up resetting my kitchen for the night. I'm gonna put this in the fridge, and it's gonna be ready to go in the morning. So yeah, Every bit counts challenge. Every bit counts. So it's the next day. I just had this in the fridge because the yogurt was in the fridge. This is the whey from the yogurt. Now I will not throw this away. I used to. I just didn't know what to do with it. Now I just bake with it. I make bread with it. I've made muffins. Any and everything you can think of. Pancakes, whatever. So actually I probably some in my smoothie. Yum. So that is the end of week 2 of the Every Bit Counts challenge. What did you preserve this week? I just want to thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and click that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. God bless, and remember, stay safe and keep prepping.